All right, so what we have here is one section of seedlings that I've started. These are seedlings that do not need heat mat or light to germinate. These are seedlings that either have germinated or need light to germinate. And then this is the I need light and heat to germinate section. So what we have here is red acre cabbage, lettuce, bok choy, bib lettuce, Chinese kale, romaine lettuce, lacinato kale. I think I said kale twice, but over here we have cabbage, chamomile, peppers. Some of the peppers have sprouted. We have hollyhocks, lupin, cilantro. This is the first year that I have been able to get lavender to sprout. So I have Homestead and English lavender, thyme, dill, cauliflower. And like I said, this section is I've sprouted or I need light to germinate. And then this is I don't need either to germinate. And this section is I need both. So over here, and so what I use are the puppy pads from the Dollar Tree. And these are sitting here because I bottom watered them last night, and then I set them on a puppy pad for the excess water to pull out of the bottom so that they don't stay too wet. And I noticed that that works great, so I do this every year. I use the pots from the Dollar Tree, puppy pads from the Dollar Tree, and you can get any type of a bucket to bottom water. You let them sit in there for about 15 minutes, and I always let the pots get really light, not 100% dry, but very light, and then I sit them in the water, bottom water them 15 to 20 minutes, take them out, sit them on a puppy pad. I normally bottom water at night so that they can sit on the puppy pad overnight when I'm not using light or heat. And then by the morning, all the excess water has pulled off and I can put them back on the heat mats. So over here I have more snacking peppers. And so let me give you an example of I need light and heat. So this is the mini red pepper. That one sprouted. So that one has now graduated to the table for light. And I see two more sprouts. And this is a orange bell pepper and a yellow snacking pepper. So these two have graduated to the table to be no more heat, just light. And then I have coneflower, jalapeno, more onions, more peppers, dill, celosia, oregano, parsley, liatris, a couple of indoor house plants. I have a Chinese lantern and polka dot plant, lemon balm, sage, and shishito pepper. And that is what I have over here. So then I'm gonna show y'all one more section, but again, this is the setup that I'm doing this year at the new house. I have this black plastic that you see. This is actually a part of a shelf, one of those plastic shelves that you can put in a garage. I took off the tops to use them as a surface, as a heat safe surface for the heat mat. And so they don't conduct a lot of heat. And so I have those, and then I put the pots on top of that, turn on the heat, turn on the light, and then we have us a safe little setup. And then I bottom water, put them on the puppy pads, let it pull out that excess water, and then I put them back on the heat mats so that they are not wet on the bottom. And same goes for this. And then up here on the desk, this is where I have the sprouted in the pots. I need light, in order to germinate. They don't necessarily have to be on the puppy pad, but I do keep them on there just in case like a little bit of dirt comes out the bottom so that the desk is not dirty. But they don't really need it. That's just what I prefer. And then I always put a little fan on them. So they are about to go back up under light with the fan, and then I will show you that in a minute after I set that back up. But I do have one more section of started seeds, and those are the flowers. All right, and so this section is completely off by itself. And this one is only because I am using up all the outlets in that other room. And so this is a 72 cell tray that I started my flowers in. And what I have planted here are Miss Jekyll and Love in the Mist, eucalyptus, amaranth, blue grama grass, amidara, poppies, alyssum, more anise hyssop, and more moss rose. So that is what I have here. And then I'm going to turn this heat on now. And then I'm also going to keep an eye on this heat mat because this the depth of this dirt is so much smaller that I am testing out how I like to put these on a heat mat like this without the tray. Because I had it with the tray and it was conducting a lot of humidity with the dome, but I don't know if the dirt was really getting enough heat. So now we're gonna try it this way. So I didn't notice this before. These sprouted in 48 hours from being on a heat mat. And that is alyssum, which sprouts pretty quickly. And it's also pretty cold tolerant, so I don't think I see any other ones. I will have to shine a light on them to see them, but these are gonna need to be under a light now. So now I need to figure that out because once you sprout, you need light. So I put together the last light that I have. And I'm just gonna put it directly on the rows where I see the growth. So that is those two. Yeah. So this row and this row. And we're just gonna put a little bit of light just so that the plants don't turn white, because you can't, if they don't have any light to photosynthesize, they'll stay white. And those will be more green by this evening. But I promise I don't really feel like they were there this morning when the heat came through this heat mat that sprouted them all. And let me show y'all just how quickly the lights work. That's the cabbage that I showed you a couple of hours ago. It was yellow and now it's green because I put it under the lights. And the good thing about these plants, a lot of them will be able to go outside next week when the weather gets a little bit better. So it'll take up a lot of room right now, but then space will free up. Put up, look over there.
I wonder if we can find something cheap, kind of expensive, that off or take it out some kind of beer so you go get go over there too.
Yeah, we can. Dollar Tree got the little fake little fence. They got some little fake fence at Dollar Tree. Same how they was.
The broken one can go in the back too. Back right. Probably split that thing
Oh.
in half like that.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how we did that.
I thought it was just chipped.
Uh-uh.
So what's that? Well, I stood on it too.
But it should be able to take that.
Well,
It must have already had a weak point.
yeah, and then probably put too much pressure on one side of it, and it wasn't stable like you were saying on the wobbler. Probably just had too much pressure on it.
That's where you're supposed to put that one at. You're supposed to put that one there, but it can go just as long as it go in the back corner.
Yeah, I'll put it in the other corner.
Oh. That should be easier for you to carry. So flip it on the side. Yeah.
You want to see?
Mm-hmm. What?
We did the floors.
That was over it. I tell you what to see the purple.
Girl, you ain't thought nothing like that.
Perfect.
Yep.
I don't want to watch
Perfect.
I got it.
You like it, Pooh?
Uh-huh, but I got the bed.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Okay.
Turned out better than perfect.
Well, we did a lot more work.